as one for the children. March against grooming gangs. Football Lads Alliance. For the children, the country. Come out, raise your voice. Get the message heard. Let's go.
Where innocence cries, young souls are broken, with fear in their eyes, groomed and betrayed, their trust torn apart. Mental scars linger, a wound in their heart. The system has failed them, left them to fall, ignored their suffering, deaf to their call. We march for the children, silent no more.
We will heal this country when the guilty are in prison and the people are back in charge.
Will roar. We hear their cries, we feel their pain. We'll fight for their freedom till just.
We are not alone, we are powerful, we are brave together, and we can make this world a safer place for children. Thank you.
So my name is Billy Oath. I'm founder of Parents Against Grooming UK, which was set up back in 2009 regarding the Rochdale grooming scandal. However, we was already active fighting for the over the abuse of No View School by Cyril Smith. So it's been a long journey for me, as you can see. And now we're finally here. We're looking at an independent inquiry. We need to make sure it's the right independent inquiry, not like the others where there was no accountability followed. So I believe the country needs to come together to push for this.
So of course you have Rupert Lowe doing a private inquiry, but you also have the government who have now finally agreed to do an inquiry into the national gangs. So with both of them happening at the same time, surely something can finally be done about it, right?
Well, as well as the Maggie Oliver thing that's going on as well. So yeah, there is many angles into the same, but we need something that distributes accountability. Prison charges, jail time for some of them. Anything else is not good enough. It's unacceptable. We can take money away from them by suing them. We can ask you, we can give them a dossier, but what's the point if they're not going to act upon it? What we need is action. What we need is preventing it from the next generation of our children to go through what's gone through the last 5 generations of our children, including myself, because I am a survivor of abuse.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's important that people keep turning up for these demos. Of course, when we went to the first one, there wasn't such a big crowd, but today the numbers are showing to be growing, so hopefully in the future these movements will get bigger and there'll be more voices.
The problem's been, I think, is people are weary of what's true, what's not true, what's misinformation, what's being peddled to agenda. Well, everybody knows now. What we've been saying all along was absolutely accurate, spot on. Children were failed on an industrial scale, and I'm talking hundreds of thousands of children in the UK who abuse our children. So we must all stand against this, regardless of any agendas. It's to stop the abuse of children. That's why I'm here today.
Absolutely. And are you speaking today as well on the stage?
Yeah. I won't come if I weren't speaking. I'm a proper sulker about that. I'm only joking. I'll be speaking. I've been asked to speak, so I'll be honoured to speak here at this event and any other, So
there we go. Everyone make sure you listen to Billy's message when he speaks later today. I'll be recording that, so make sure you watch it. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Where hope fades away, young lives are stolen, no light in their day, their innocence crushed by a world that's turned blind. But we rise for their future with strength intertwined. The system has failed them, left them to fall, ignore their suffering, deaf to their call. We march for the children, silent no more. United we stand, their voices will roar. We hear their cries, we feel their pain. We'll fight for their freedom till justice remains.
Well, it's good to kind of unite with people that you commonly agree with. This kind of encourages discussion. So regardless of whether you believe that being here will invoke some sort of change, most likely it's a good place for fellowship, right? Sharing in the same political or religious ideas. But secondly, there's a real issue with the right of politics, right? That being the conversion to like internet hysteria to political activism. How many people do you see on Twitter saying, I'm going to be in this event, I'm going to be on this one? And then you'll see like maybe 10, 20 or 50 people, even though in reality about 1,000 people said that they were actually going to come. So if you do actually agree with what we're currently demonstrating against, please convert your online activism to on-the-ground activism, because there needs to be a fair conversion, right? There can't be one singular person taking on the brunt of the triumph, right? Like very famously, if you look at like Charlie Hebdo, for example, or like what he said, what he did against the Prophet Muhammad. Now, if one journalist gets affected because he did one thing which is rightfully within his freedom of speech, then of course he's going to be persecuted. But let's just say a group of journalists did it. It's very unlikely that someone would go against him in doing that. So everyone needs to be united and taking equally the risk so that we can all stand united in victory. Because if a group of like 10 people go up and do this, firstly, it's not going to change anything. And secondly, they're going to take a higher risk. I don't know, counter-protesters that may have 200 might be violent against them or use in publicity the lack of audience. So if you believe in it, convert your online activism to on-the-ground activism. That's my point.
Well, I think it goes to show that coming out for these demos and marches, protests, etc., against grooming gangs, it's kind of making some progress now because the government have finally decided to do an investigation into the grooming gangs.
Absolutely.
So the people are getting what they want. They're getting what they came out for, right?
Yeah, and of course, and there have been recent stories about how certain local councils had redacted the word Islamic or Pakistani. So very clearly it's loaded towards trying to move away from this narrative that most of these people were Pakistanis or people of the Islamic faith, right? So what we need to do is kind of push for honesty, even if this leads to division, right? No one's being racist in saying a certain culture is committing a crime. What would be racist is to say that because you're Pakistani, you are going to groom. No, it's just the fact that Pakistani men are traditionally the ones grooming white British women.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you again for your words. Always a pleasure. You always talk so well.
Yeah.
So
public speaking is a good life skill to have. If anyone, I'd recommend pick up public speaking because you can talk your way out of a post box if you can do that.
Yeah. Always enjoy getting a few words from you.
Yeah,
so.
Of course, man.
We march for the children, silent no more. United we stand, their voices will roar. We hear their cries, we feel their pain. We'll fight for their freedom till justice remains. Oh, the children still yearning, lost in the cold, seeking the safety of someone to hold. For their tomorrow will carry their pain. We hear them, we'll fight till justice remains.
Thank you to each and every one of you that's here today. Right, it's you lot that are going to make the